Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Roethlisberger Steelers going up against Wilson Seahawks.
Okay, Larry, we are just south of historic Pioneer Square at CenturyLink Field in the beautiful city of Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And off we go from Seattle. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. They'll begin the drive with Carson. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run, so now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks right near the 27. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. On third down, it's Carson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They run it with Carson. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Now he's flushed out right. Room here to run. And he is knocked down from the side. Looks to be right around the 40. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Even though it's the opening drive of the game, he wasn't shy about taking off and running with the football, even knowing the defense is definitely going to take their shots at him, and that's exactly what they did. He better learn to slide, otherwise he won't be around to finish this one.
Now it's Carson. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
The way this game is going, the way that they possess the ball on the other side of the field, you go 3 and out here, you might not see the ball again until the second quarter.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. Despite the heavy running, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Hey, big drive right here. Let's go. 380. 14. Yes. Check 34. Check 380. Oh, let's go, boys. Bring it up. Check. Got it.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
95. Gotta go. In and out. Let's go. 3 out.
This is Carson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Lock it in motion right. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Buying time to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Lock it in motion right. Now Wilson on second down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. First and goal here from the 9. Wilson Baldwin in motion left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And this one through the uprights and good. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Only able to get it to his own 20 after breaking through the contact. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And ready for 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arms saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. McDonald, the man in motion. On second down, it's Bell. Had a great strong move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's McDonald. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Antonio Brown in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now a first down carry by Bell. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And his kick is right through. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
And not great starting field position here for the offense. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Block it in motion right. They'll toss it out to Carson. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon getting set for quarter number 3 here. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Block it in motion right. Here's Wilson to throw on 3rd down. He finds his man, Baldwin. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacy. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The play fake to Lacy. Now this is Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they don't get a touchdown here on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
And now out come the Steelers. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
And he whips that one incomplete there. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Going deep here for Bryant. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up fourth.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is fourth down. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
I know everyone wants that prototypical wide receiver, you know, the 6'3", 200-plus pound guy, like a Julio Jones and A.J. Green and Des Bryant. Antonio.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. So they're on that play offensively. They were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. This is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. This is turning into a bit of a death march here, the 13th play of this drive. Now they send a man in motion right. They'll try again with Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And that makes it 14-10. Boswell on now to kick this one away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe. There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like he said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. One thing that makes him so tough in these 2-minute drills, you got to take into consideration he's mobile.
And that's a big plus for him, but he also has to be careful with that mobility. Sometimes getting rid of the ball and stopping the clock is more important than running around and maybe taking a sack.
Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. They run for it with Carson. And an alley to run. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the All-Pro free safety, Earl Thomas. Thomas barreling ahead. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So 2nd and 10 here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Block it in motion right. Block it the man in motion. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. On 3rd down. That's Carson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On is the punter, Ryan, to send this one away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you got to decide.
And Ben goes down in the end zone, and that'll be a safety. And that disastrous play partner is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they gave up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball